Have you ever wondered why you can understand English perfectly, but still can't speak it confidently? Why the words make sense when you hear them, but disappear when it's your turn to talk? You understand movies, songs, and conversations, but when you open your mouth, silence. Well, you're not alone. And today, we'll uncover why that happens and how you can fix it, step by step. Welcome back to English Learners, my friend. I'm Ryan, and today we'll explore the journey that every English learner faces, understanding everything, but struggling to speak. Let's begin. I've seen this problem in people from every corner of the world, and maybe you'll recognize yourself in one of these stories. There was Leo from Brazil. He understood English songs and football interviews easily. But when his cousin from the US came to visit, he froze. He only smiled and said, "Yes, yes," feeling embarrassed and stuck. One day, he decided to do something simple. He started recording his voice on his phone every night, talking about his day for just 1 minute. Then he listened back. At first, his pronunciation sounded strange. But he kept going, comparing his words with native speakers, and slowly improving. After 3 months, his confidence transformed. The secret was simple: record and repeat. Then there's Sofia from Spain. She was great at English in school, always scored high marks, and understood everything she heard. But when it came time to speak, her face turned red and her mind went blank. One morning, she discovered a method called shadowing, listening and repeating at the same time. She started practicing for just 10 minutes a day using podcast clips. At first, she made mistakes, but after a week, her mouth began to move faster. After 2 weeks, English started to flow naturally. One day, a tourist asked for directions, and she replied confidently without thinking. That was her turning point. Her secret? Shadow short sentences every day. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Just listen and repeat. I also remember Ayan from Bangladesh. He could understand everything but couldn't express himself. Then one day, after watching a fluent cricket player speak, he decided to imitate him. Every evening, he picked a short clip, sometimes from YouTube, sometimes from podcasts, and recorded himself copying it. No script, no translation, just sound, rhythm, and emotion. He called it his imitation diary. After a month, he joined an online speaking club, and people noticed his smooth accent. Now, imitation is part of his daily routine. His advice: don't just listen, imitate. Be your own speaking partner. And finally, there's Naomi from Japan. She understood English perfectly with subtitles, but her brain slowed down whenever she had to talk. She was translating every sentence in her head before speaking. One day, her teacher told her, "Stop translating. Think in English." So she tried. In the morning, she spoke to herself silently. "I'm brushing my teeth. I'm drinking coffee. I'm going to work." She described things she saw on the train or street. The man is reading. The sky is blue. After a few weeks, something magical happened. English started living inside her head. Her advice: think in English, even for 2 minutes a day. All these learners had one thing in common. They already understood English. They just hadn't used it enough. And that's where the real secret lies. When you listen to English, your brain works in a passive mode, like sitting in the passenger seat of a car. You're moving, but you're not driving. You recognize the sounds, you understand the words, but you're not controlling them. Speaking is active. It's like driving the car yourself. You control grammar, pronunciation, and expression all at once. That's why you might understand English perfectly, yet freeze when it's your turn to speak. You've trained your ears, but not your mouth. Another reason? Fear. So many learners are afraid of making mistakes. You might think, what if I sound silly? What if people laugh? But here's the truth. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. Fluency doesn't come from perfection. It comes from connection. If the other person understands you, you're already successful. A third reason is translation. If you think in your native language first, and then try to translate into English, you'll always be one step behind. English sentences don't follow the same word order or logic. By the time you finish translating, the conversation has already moved on. So train your brain to think in English directly. Describe your surroundings. I'm making tea. The sun is bright. The street is quiet. Do it in your mind. No one will even notice. Soon, you'll stop translating and start communicating. Another big problem, you don't speak enough. Many learners spend hours reading or listening, but barely speak a word. You can't learn to swim by watching videos. You have to get into the water. It's the same with speaking. Even 5 minutes of real speaking a day is worth more than 2 hours of silent study. Talk to yourself in English. Read out loud. Record your voice. Each small moment of speaking builds fluency. And don't forget about repetition. Hearing a new word once isn't enough. You need to hear it, read it, say it, and write it several times before it becomes natural. Repetition is the bridge between understanding and fluency. When you learn a new word, say it out loud 3 or 4 times, then use it in a sentence. Your goal is not to know the word, it's to own it. Now, let's talk about habit. Many people say, I'm just not good at languages. That's not true. Speaking isn't talent, it's training. If you speak a little English every day, you will get better. Fluency doesn't come suddenly. It grows quietly through small, consistent actions. Listen, repeat, think in English, imitate, record yourself, and never give up. So my friend, if you understand English but can't speak yet, remember this. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need time, practice, and courage. Your brain already knows the language. Now let your mouth join the team. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today. Talk to yourself, your phone, your mirror, anyone or anything. Because the only way to learn speaking is to speak. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of English Learners. I'm Ryan, reminding you to keep speaking, keep believing, and keep your English unleashed. See you in the next episode.